Okay, everyone, let's continue on in Module 26207-23, Cable Tray, in the NCCER 11th edition. This will be Section 3.00, Cable Tray Fill. Cable Tray Fill. NEC Section 392.20 covers the general installation requirements for all conductors using cable tray systems, but there are other related sections as well. Requirements for single conductor cables are found in NEC Section 310.10G. Requirements for multi-conductor cables rated at 2,000 volts or less are found in NEC Section 392.22A. All conductor sizes 4/0 or larger. When all the cables installed in a ladder or ventilated trough tray are 4/0 or larger, the sum of the diameters of the cable shall not exceed the cable tray width. The cable must also be installed in a single layer. All conductors smaller than 4/0. The steps involved in determining the size of a cable tray for multi-conductor cables smaller than 4/0 AWG are as follows. Step 1. Calculate the total cross-sectional area of all cables used in the tray. Obtain the area of each from the manufacturer's data. Step 2. Look in column 1 of NEC 392.22A1 and find the smallest number that is at least as large as the calculated number. Step 3. Look at the number to the left of the row selected in Step 2. This is the minimum width of cable tray that may be used. To determine the tray size for a combination of cables, proceed as follows. Step 1. Repeat the steps from the procedure previously used to determine the minimum tray width required for the multi-conductor cables having conductor size 4/0 and larger. Repeat the steps from the procedure used previously to determine the cross-sectional area of all multi-conductor cables having conductors smaller than 4/0 AWG. Multiply the result of Step 1 by the constant 1.2 and add the product to the result of Step 2. Call this Sum A. Search column 2 of NEC Table 392.22A1 for the smallest number that is at least as large as Sum A. Look to the left in that row to determine the minimum tray size. Solid bottom tray. NEC Section 392.22A3A through C applies to solid bottom cable trays that contain multi-conductor power or lighting cables or any mixture of multi-conductor power, lighting, control, and signal cables. Where all cables are 4/0 or larger, the sum of the diameters of all cables must not exceed 90% of the tray width, and the cables must be installed in a single layer. Where all cables are smaller than 4/0, the sum of the cross-sectional areas of all cables must not exceed the maximum cable fill area in column 3 of NEC Table 392.22A1 for the appropriate cable tray width. Single conductor cables. NEC Section 392.22B covers the details of installing single conductor cables with rated voltages of less than 2,000 volts in cable tray systems. Conductors that are 1,000 kcmil and larger are treated the same as multi-conductor cables with conductors of size 4/0 or larger. Conductors that are smaller than 1,000 kcmil are treated the same as multi-conductor cables having conductors smaller than size 4/0. Ampacity of cable tray conductors. Cables in cable tray use the same ampacity tables as other cable, with additional derating applied to the following conditions. Cable tray construction, types of cable, ampacity, and number of cables and cable configuration in the tray. And some review questions for this section. A ladder-style cable tray contains 8 4/0 cables, and each one is 1.5 inches in diameter. The minimum width of the cable is 6 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches, or 12. I'm going to go with 12. Which of the following is least likely to result in ampacity derating of conductors in cable tray? The number of cables, the tight cable configuration, the covered tray, or the open tray? The open tray. All right, everyone, that's it for that section. Next will be a reviewing for the module test. We'll do that in the classroom, and I'll see you there.